Arts and culture activists are worried about the poor state of the Mmabana Mahikeng, formerly known as the Arts Council building. It was torched 7 years ago during a protest. Now, the fact that it hasn't been fixed is affecting the development of upcoming artists in the province. Newzroom Afrika's Rufil Saboko there for you now. Rufil, good morning. You were just beginning to tell us about the poor state of this facility.
Indeed, the poor state, the dire state that is this facility, Mmabana Mahikeng, formerly Arts Council. Like you indicated, it was torched in 2018 during the Suprema's Fall protests. But 7 years later, the facility still remains the same. Not much have been done, even with the commitments that were made previously when we were speaking to the then acting CEO of Mmabana, indicating that there is some budget allocation that had been put to be able to make some renovations and refurbishment of this facility. I'm joined by a CEO, another CEO of Mmabana Mahikeng. Thank you so much, Mtate Metsileng. Welcome to Newzroom Afrika. What do you have to say about the state of this facility? 7 years down the line, nothing has been done.
Good morning to your viewers and yourself. Yeah, indeed, the state of this facility is not where we'd want it to be, but there's significant progress that we have made in terms of making sure that we appoint someone who's going to assist us with the renovations. So on the 24th of March, IDT, which is an entity that we have appointed as an implementing agent, has appointed quantity surveyors who are coming to obviously scope the work here. So that after they scope the work, then obviously we'll come with the user requirement specifications, and then they will be going out on a tender on our behalf so that we get a contractor who will be moving on site. Yesterday, we had a meeting together with colleagues from IDT and the appointed quantity surveyor to come and do the first visit of the site. So we are planning by next week that they will come and do a full site inspection so that they can be able to do the scoping.
Parts of the building, it was said to should have been renovated by March this year, 2025. Which part of this building has been renovated or at least tried to be fixed? Because really, it doesn't look like there's been any work done on it.
There hasn't been any work done. There was delays in terms of procurement processes. That is why the entity, which is us, then decided to go the route of appointing IDT so that it can be our implementing agent. Like I said, on the 24th, they communicated with us that they have appointed the quantity surveyors who are then going to assist us with the development of the specifications.
In terms of the assessment and specifications for the renovation, how much money is needed based on the assessment that has been done?
We have had assessment that were done around 2018-19, if I'm not mistaken, by the Department of Public Works then. They were estimating that it's going to take about 53 million to do the renovations. But that was because they wanted that wing that you went on the other side, the office side. They wanted it to be completely demolished and be rebuilt from scratch. The current amount we will only get them once the QS has finalized his work, the appointed QS. It will give us an idea of what will happen. We are not of the view that that site should be demolished. We are of the view that it should actually be refurbished and renovated instead of refurbishment. So we are estimating that it will come much lower than the initial 53 million that was quoted initially by our Department of Public Works.
Was the building not insured?
It wasn't. As far as I have been reported to, it wasn't insured. That was the issue. And I think even currently our buildings are not insured. It is what we are currently working on. So that moving forward, if anything was to happen to our building, then at least we'll know that we'll be having insurance.
But with an incident like this that happened 7 years ago, and you're indicating that even currently some of the buildings that were not insured, why wait for something to happen and only then realize that these buildings need to be insured so that, you know, the process of renovations and refurbishment can be done a little bit sooner?
Yeah. It's a bit difficult to take accountability for a period when I was not here. That's what I'm saying. These are the things that I'm working on now. So that in future, if we have this kind of adverse events, then we know that we have transferred this particular risk to someone else. Because we know that in terms of government funding, it will take us much longer to get government funding to be able to do the work that needs to be done. So it is something that we are looking at, so that moving forward, at least we have cover for our facilities mainly.
I was speaking to the activists earlier on that indicating that this dire state of the center, it is really impacting and affecting the development of upcoming artists in the province, the creative arts industry in the province. It's really not, the state is not doing justice to that.
Yeah. I don't know whether I should agree with them or not. Remember, this is supposed to be the head office, where head office is located, even though this place has got studios and so on. But the way that Mmabana operates is that we've got centers. So we've got a center, Mahikeng, which is just on the other side. We've got centers go Lehuruti, we've got a center go Rustenburg, but also Leko Taung. So it is at these centers where actual tuition and training of our developing artists is taking place. So if you have to go to Mahikeng Center now, you will see that work is going on there. So that development aspect is going on. So it's going on. So previously, what we used to have here is what we used to call Arts Council, which mainly dealt with professionals. So in the previous era, you have got the Arts Council, which deals with professionals, and you've got Mmabana, which dealt with the development part. So after the merger of the two, then Mmabana had to take both aspects of both development and then also the professional practice of the creative industry. So the aspect that I could say is mostly affected by unavailability of the site. It's not the development aspect, but it's the professional side, because this is where we used to host your shows that were actually done by the professionals. But we are continuing on at the centers, like I'm saying, with actual development of the artist as per our mandate. Yeah.
Is there a timeline? Are you able, as the CEO, the current CEO of this facility or the institution, be able to give a timeline as to when you would like, even for yourself as the CEO, to see this facility being back to a state where, you know, you can also pride yourself and say, you know, I've done some work in resuscitating and making sure that the facility doesn't continue to sink?
Okay, so our plan is to have these renovations in 3 phases, and they're based on the amount of money that has been allocated to us over 3 years. So the first year we've been given about 4 million. So that 4 million is supposed to start with the renovations, especially this site. So it's supposed to start with the studios, the theaters, and then the first floor of the office space. The second phase, we are going to focus on the part that was mostly affected, which is the touch part, the side of the office space, to do the renovations that side. And then the third phase then is going to be the outside space. So the reason why we wanted to start with the studios is so that even though we have not necessarily started occupying the offices this side, but at least the professional side of the studios can start working, so that our professionals can start having access to these studios for their work. So that is the intention. That's why we started with the studios first. Ideally, somebody would have said, let's start with the offices, but we said, no, let's start with the the actual core business first, and then we'll deal with the support at the later stage.
Thank you so much for your time. Mr. Metsileng, he is the CEO of Mmabana Mahikeng. Stephen, indicating that, there has been some budget allocations, but also the refurbishment or trying to renovate this facility will happen in 3 phases. However, some are saying that these are some of the commitments that were done or made previously, and 7 years down the line, we are still witnessing that, the facility really not much work has been done to make sure that it goes back to its proper state.
Rufil Soboko, thank you very much indeed.